This episode of the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast is brought to you by Patreon and the Gentleman Scofflaw merchandise page. Go to gentlemanscofflaw.com. In the menu, click the support or shop links to help support the show.
You are listening to the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast. Listener beware.
Rise and shine, the liquor store is open. I ain't got time for moping. I best be on my way. Well, I still got time to save my reputation. Time to go day drinking in this dirty little town.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Crowder. Co-hosting with me in person is the Donovan Fowler.
Yep.
By the way, this podcast, the podcast for the Rebel and the Renaissance Man. Just got to get in there. Get that in there. How you doing, man?
Doing okay. You know, I think this, you know what, this is just annoying.
For the listeners that aren't watching this on video, because we've got the video up now, Donovan's got a N935, is it N95? Was it N95 mask?
I don't know. It's a mask. It's one of those masks that you'll see in airports and certain environs of Asia all over the place. But
so you do have the coronavirus, just to confirm that.
I do not have the coronavirus. I have a sinus infection, which happened to fall on the same week as the coronavirus started to hit LA. So
just a coincidence?
I don't know.
You think the doctors would tell you if you had the
coronavirus? I mean, I here's the thing. I went to my doctor like immediately, not because I thought I had the coronavirus, because I had the flu and I'm going to be traveling soon. I was like, I just need to get rid of this as soon as possible. So anyways, went to him and he told me that it's the same old story. Good old sinus infection brought by the winds of Santa Ana.
The Santa Ana winds
blowing into LA. But it's funny because I don't know. I don't know what I put more effort into today at the office, my actual work or trying to convince people I didn't have the coronavirus.
Oh, geez.
Because the moment you start sniffling or, blowing your nose or coughing or whatever, people are just looking at you sideways and like you're the harbinger.
I know,
of death.
And that's like that in LA to begin with, because nobody wants to lose a day's work. Like everyone's already touchy, and then you have the coronavirus thing.
It's not so much that lose a day's work. Well, I guess that's why people would go to work with it. Yeah. But I mean, if coronavirus hits your office, your entire office is going to be out.
Yeah.
So that's the sucky thing about it. Yeah. I mean, well, it's just going to be that like nobody's going to be able to work, and it's going to disrupt everything. So I see the value of staying home if you have it, but I don't have it. So I can work as much as I damn well please. Thank you very much.
Hopefully I won't get your sinus infection then. I just won't touch your mic for a week after you leave.
He said I wasn't contagious. I don't know. You're taking your life into your own hands.
Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. I forgot to open with that. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
This is the St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Yes.
That's the Friday before.
Yes.
So let's start.
Or as the Irish would say, see.
See, let's start off with a little bit about housekeeping here. I am drinking some Bushmills Irish whiskey.
Yeah, don't think that's legit.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I don't know. That bottle's looking a little suspicious. A little suspicious. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna pass muster in the old country, but it
works.
Whatever.
I could sell it on the black market.
It is whiskey.
And I
will say that much.
I should have packed my pipe before this thing, because normally I do, and then I forgot to.
Give the kids a lesson.
But I'm gonna show you what we're smoking today. This is inspired by our podcast. For those of you who remember the conversations we've had about the aromatic cherry,
way back.
Tanner over at the Briar Shop in Houston, he's a tobacconist over there, sent us this custom blend called the Virgin Cherry, specifically inspired.
I feel like he took it a step further.
He took it a step further
than my implications. But I will say I did have before this, the night before this terrible whatever this disease hit me. I actually lit up a bowl of Virgin Cherry, and I was
like it?
I was very pleased.
I like it too. This is my third time trying it out, right? And I like it a lot. It's like it could just be because I've had it for a little while, and it's like at the perfect moisture level, so it burns really well.
Yeah,
it doesn't get very like sticky.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
so it's like, and it's like just got a little bit of cherry to where it's like it's not
overpowering.
And it's not like, doesn't feel like you're smoking cough syrup.
It was the perfect cap to a Sunday night of just chilling out with friends and having a little bit of whiskey and just lighting up a pipe full of that. Especially coming out of I'd recently been on a big cigar kick lately, so I definitely it was a good re-entry into the pipe smoking.
It's great. It's like
irons.
It's really, it smells great, and it actually tastes good, too. Like, it's just smooth enough to where, because some aromatics, they don't really taste very good.
It smells great, and it tastes good, too.
Well, like, I'm finding that
it just reminded me of like a Saturday morning cereal commercial.
Yeah, it's true. That's what, funny thing, though, talking about how Tanner took it a little too far, he's also happens to be a minister, so...
Yeah, well, it's God blesses the best with a good sense of humor.
It's true.
That's what I say.
I mean, he's got to have a sense of humor.
And I mean, there's got to be some, virgin cherries out there, out in the orchard.
Yeah,
orchard.
Hopefully,
no, or cherry orchard. Yeah, I don't know.
The cherry orchard.
That's George Washington.
All right, let's go to a little bit of. Well, what should we do first? You want me to go through some of the news items, or should we talk about some of the updates and things we've got going on with the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast?
Let's give the folks a little bit of an update.
All right. Well, we are back. We've been on hiatus for a while.
Yeah.
It's been a busy year, and always the end of the year is always kind of busy with the holidays and stuff too. Yeah. And then the new year comes around, and there's all sorts of new stuff you've got to do and get done. But we're finally back with weekly episodes. Funny enough, this weekend is the third-year anniversary of the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast.
Indeed. In fact, I was driving over here using the same route that I took that first time that I drove over to do the podcast on St. Patrick's Day back in 2016, was it?
2017.
Are you sure it was 2017?
Yeah, because I lived in Dallas for a couple of months. I was working out there for a while, and then I moved out here and we started.
Wow. Okay, yeah, it was 2017.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. But I was thinking back to it, and I was thinking back to just how much I was looking forward to it, and it was a good kickoff to the whole endeavor to begin with. So this time around, I was in similar spirits.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I spoke this on the first podcast too. It's a Peterson Dublin Killarney pipe. In theme with St. Patrick's Day. I just wanted to make sure that people could see that on camera.
Yeah, at least you got to do something to make up for that little whiskey debacle there.
That was my plan. And that's the thing is I guess this is one of the announcements. Now we're going to be doing video.
Yes. So
that's going to be a big change.
Big step up.
If you're watching this right now, this is a kind of a temporary situation. We're still building out our studio or kind of our set for recording these things. We'll have a couple extra cameras. I know that Nick over at Legacy Flags can give us a nice flag there, put in the background that he's going to make for us.
Very good.
And so, but we didn't want to start off the new year with not doing video. Rather, let's just do it, not make it perfect right away, and you'll get to see how our studio evolves, right?
All I gotta say is watch out, Joe Rogan, because we're coming for you.
Watch out, we're coming for you. We're gonna hire a Jamie.
Yeah. We'll hire a Jimmy.
Yeah,
young Jimmy.
By the way, if you do live in Southern California and want to work on a podcast, we could use some help.
Yeah, sure. We're looking for an intern to beat up and kick around. And throw all of our content out. Did you not turn off your phone?
I did, but you know what it is? My computer's on in the other room and the speakers are on, so sorry about that. But nobody can hear it, so.
Oh, well, I guess. I have sensitive, to quote me saying, okay, so this is a funny St. Patrick's Day story.
Okay.
It has really nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day other than this happened on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
My roommate has a Snapchat of me. back on St. Patrick's Day, I think in 2016.
Okay.
Sitting at a table at Cantor's Deli eating a plate of corned beef and cabbage. And I was explaining to him how my ears are fairly fine-tuned to hear certain things. Like I will be sitting in my living room and my kitchen window will be open. And I'll hear stuff out on the street that people just don't seem to pick up on. Like any commotion out on the street. Like I'm up at that window and I'm like, what's going on? like I'm like a dog. And I just happened to say to him, I was trying to explain to him this phenomena, my superpower, if you will.
Okay.
And I said, sometimes I hear things that other people don't hear. And the way I said it, the way the Snapchat played as I was eating this corned beef, it made me look how should you say, mentally ill. And he's
which is nothing to laugh at, by the way.
Never let me forget. It's true. If you do hear things other people don't hear, maybe you should seek out help.
Get some professional counseling.
But
call Eric Anderson, family.
It keeps
medical family therapist.
Yeah, exactly. Or Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
But regardless, it keeps me humble whenever he brings up that Snapchat from St. Patrick's Day, @16.
That's crazy that's out there floating. We'll have to link it in the show notes.
I don't know.
Does he have a public profile?
I don't know if I'll be. I don't know if I want to dig that up. But we'll let the audience's imaginations run wild with what young 2016 Donovan Fowler may have looked like.
Young 20. I guess it's weird to think that 2016 is like 4 years ago now.
4 years ago.
It seems like that was just yesterday.
It does, doesn't it? It feels like it feels like I'm trying to think, like compared to 2016, looking back at 2012, which was 4 years prior, it does just seem like it was yesterday. And I don't know if that's just because I'm getting older, getting into the twilight years of life, or
you're in your autumn years.
Yeah, my autumn years, as you can see,
the autumn of your career.
That's the benefit of the camera, is to show that in reality I'm a very elderly, broken down.
Not with that ring light though; it's smoothing everything out.
It's got to catch the glint off my ring too. Yeah. Right, that's why they call it a ring light.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bad joke. That's an autumn. That's what we call an autumn years joke. But anyways. Yes, 2016 does seem like it was yesterday. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's really insane. I mean, it seems like we just started this podcast too. And I know last year was a little of a lighter season, but again, this year we'll be doing weekly episodes.
It was Gentleman Scofflaw Light.
Gentleman Scofflaw
was 2019. that was our light.
It was Gentleman Scoffs Less.
Yeah, Scoffs.
But other things that we're wanting to do too is not just the video portion of the podcast, but some video content that is that helps support some of the stuff we're already doing on the show, some extra stuff that wouldn't be on the show.
Yeah.
Stuff that doesn't necessarily fit the podcast format.
As prefaced by our promo that we put out before this.
Yeah.
That was a fun little bit.
A fun little promo. There's background too. We did that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Should I tell people how that came about, or should I keep that a secret?
I say keep it a secret.
All right.
Yeah. I say let them wonder how you got this glorious background.
So if you haven't watched that promo, that gives you a little bit of background of our history here. Maybe we should just play it on one of we could throw it in here and play it for the people watching online if they haven't watched it.
Either that or link to it or whatever.
Wink to it.
Wink to it.
Yeah, that's how you get on there. And we'll have obviously we'll have a bunch of new guests. Usually we haven't had any problem really booking. We've actually had really great guests somehow. I don't know how it happens.
I think it's attractive personalities. I would say. I think it's that we're very what's the word? Charismatic. Charismatic young gentlemen. No, but I am looking forward to this roster of guests. In fact, I was sitting over there as we were setting up, and I was putting together a list, and I was just looking at like all the different, kind of just like, jumping from obviously topics of alcohol to tobacco, like our mainstays, and then getting more into, dude, I've been cutting these videos on freaking women's skincare tips. Not my ideal content to be cutting, but sometimes it pays the bills.
I've done some of that in the past.
It's made me so self-conscious as to like how I've been treating myself for the last 30 years. And then I tell myself, whatever, your goal has always been to like look like Clint Eastwood or some salty sea dog by the time you're 80. But I was even thinking like getting somebody on to just give us an update on like, what should guys be doing to take care of themselves?
Yeah.
Where the latest trends going in 2020? We are approaching, or no, not approaching. We're in the roaring 20s, as it were.
That's crazy.
Although, is it the roaring 20s? I feel like there was another.
No, it's the burning 20s.
The burning 20s. I feel like there was
burning the 20s down to the
I
ground.
feel like there was another name for it that people had come up with. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be a good decade. So this is going to be a good kickoff to all of it.
Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Some things that you can help us out as listeners is things that we always need is always your feedback. Anything you want to send along our way. I should be looking. I'm looking at the computer. I need to be. This is the camera
because it's just like the inner narcissist in all of us just wants to look.
Let's
at
just
yourself
switch this over to the show notes so that way we don't look at it.
Yeah.
All right. So we know we're in frame now.
Just as we talk, we keep getting closer and closer to the closer to the computer until we're just right up in it.
Yeah. So listener feedback is always a way you can participate on the show. Writing iTunes reviews is very helpful, not only for our search rankings, but we read those on the show. The funnier they are, the more likely they are going to be featured on the show. Any questions you want to send us too. That's fair game for listener mail. We've answered lots of questions about shaving and pipe smoking and all sorts of other stuff.
Iron sharpens iron, as they say.
Exactly. So those are free ways you could help contribute to the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast and help support the show that way by being a part of it.
Yeah, right? I mean, and we all get a kick out of it. It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, part of the reason that we do this is because it's especially after the Big Shave, Big Shave West last year, I just realized like this is an awesome community to be a part of.
And that was really cool last year because we got to go to the Big Shave West and like meet people that actually listen to the show, which was a lot of fun, and hang out with people. Yep. So that's another aspect we want to do is do some hangouts, maybe do some actual live shows that don't have to be at events, but set up something, at a theater around here, which would be a fun thing to do, where people could come and be part of the audience.
A women's conference or two.
Women's conference.
Just ask any lady wet shavers in here. Yeah. Anybody want to spark up a bowl of virgin sherry after the show?
Yeah, that'll go over very well,
I'm sure.
And so those are the type of things that we're planning to do this year. Obviously, make it more interactive. It's more fun for us that way. It makes it. It's because sometimes when you're just recording at a desk and putting it up, you don't know if people are listening, or you don't know how it's being received and stuff. So the interaction helps us, and it makes us want to keep making more episodes.
Yeah.
And then the other way, if you just have some money to throw around, right?
Yeah, some disposable
income.
This wonderful. If you happen to invest during the dip in the stock market last week, you want to throw that money somewhere useful.
Useful.
Yeah.
You could always go on Patreon.
Yeah.
And you could support the podcast for $1 a month. Can you imagine if all of our listeners were supporting for $1 a month? Yeah. We would have our own studio.
We
wouldn't have to set up in my living room all the
time. Yeah. Well, there is a certain charm to the environs.
Yeah, and so we could do that. We could have more cameras. We could also pay somebody to edit and upload and do more content to where we're, it's not just. That's the thing is like right now, it's just you and I that do this. Like, there's nobody else. Like, we're the cast and crew.
Yeah.
And
I could stop tap dancing on the corner for cheap tricks.
Stop turning tricks for cheeseburgers. Oh, double cheeseburgers like Randy on Trailer Park Boys.
Jeez.
So those are, and then there are other tiers too. You could do $5 a month. Like originally we did them every episode, but I can understand like especially if a month where you've got 5 episodes, it adds up to support. So we ended up switching it to a per month thing. Makes it really cheap and convenient. It just automate, it's an automated thing. And we post some extras there. A lot of stuff that gets cut out of the show. Sometimes we'll post some extra updates and stuff before an episode gets released. We'll also sometimes, farm some ideas from our Patreons and get some feedback and stuff to get some ideas for the show. So that's another way you kind of get to be on the inside that way.
I think I'm going to, this year, I'm definitely, I mean, there are no promises here, folks, because, I'm very busy and very popular. But this year I've definitely been giving more and more thought and to setting up like a legitimate, like, scofflaw review of movies and stuff. Yeah. Just even stuff that like, nobody like that isn't coming out like necessarily that weekend, but just going back and reviewing movies. I mean, we've done a little bit of this before, but just throwing that up on YouTube and just, giving it to the folks. Cause that, I mean, it's nice to sometimes revisit certain movies, and we're big film guys.
Yeah, and it's fun to go through like a canon too, especially like with Gentleman's, like with our podcast, like to go back and see like movies that every guy needs to see. Yeah. That's something that we've been wanting to do. We did for a little while, but it's something that where if we have more patrons and more support, it makes it easier for us to keep doing that. Because we both have, we have day jobs and have to, do this on our own time.
We'll give you a taste of what could be the actual product itself, so that you know that what you'll be investing in is actually worth it.
Yeah, definitely. So that's other ways. Another way is if you are a pipe maker or a tobacconist, or maybe you have a distillery,
a brewery.
You know that we open every episode where we feature what we're drinking and smoking. We realize that this is a place that we could actually throw in some reviews there. So if that's something you're interested in doing, having your product reviewed by us and promoted on the show, go ahead to gentlemanscofflaw.com, hit the contact page, and let us know.
Please, just no crystal meth.
No crystal. Well, maybe I'll try anything once.
Okay. Here's a fun little story. I thought it was a good idea one night to sit down and watch a movie that I hadn't seen, and it was a little movie called Beautiful Boy. Have you heard of this?
Is this the... Oh, I'm thinking of Honey Boy.
No. Oh, Honey Boy, actually, I did the same thing recently. Honey Boy was fantastic.
That was a good movie,
it was great. Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
Shia LaBeouf.
Beef. But yeah, that guy's been a real journey, Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
But you gotta respect it somewhat. Yeah. Anyways, Beautiful Boy has
divide us.
I feel like that's just a chapter in the whole thing.
No, just such a small. chapter.
I'm actually really glad he got over that chapter, because that was just like it wasn't going anywhere. And it was just
crazy.
Like, and then
it's
now
he's come back around.
Good. Now you're making a movie and you seem to be sober. So good job, Shia.
Good job.
Anyways,
good job.
Still waiting on Transformers 6. But anyways, I watched Beautiful Boy, which is a movie with Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet.
Oh yeah. About the drug addict kid, right?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. That's exactly the synopsis on IMDb. How'd you know that? Beautiful Boy. It's about a drug addict kid. Anyways, but it's a true story about a kid who gets addicted to crystal meth, and it's sort of the odyssey that he and his dad go through, trying to get him clean, and obviously all that dirty stuff. And anyways, what I learned from it was that I guess the recovery rate for crystal meth addicts is in the single digits.
Oh, geez.
So after I watched that, I looked myself in the mirror and I said, Donnie, don't ever do crystal meth. Not like I ever would.
Yeah.
But it was the sort of thing where I was just like, that's like, yikes.
Yeah, maybe not the best.
It was a good movie though, and it was definitely inspiring because, spoiler alert, I guess I won't spoil it.
Don't spoil it for people.
Yeah, don't spoil it. It's very inspiring, but
I want to see that. I missed that. I thought it was going to be nominated for stuff this year, but I guess it wasn't, right?
I think you know why it wasn't nominated for stuff this year?
Because they didn't pay
enough advertising 2 years ago.
Is it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it came out 2 years ago.
Why did I think it came out this year?
I mean, it was maybe on the straddling the line of 2018, 2019.
Where does the time go?
I know, right? Like we said, 2016 was just like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. I really thought I saw a trailer for that this year, but I could be wrong.
It was probably Honey Boy.
Yeah, probably Honey Boy. Yeah, so I guess those are a couple of updates of things that we've got in the works, and hopefully letting you know how you could support us, because you could be a part of the show that way, and that's going to be we'll need some support to get that off the ground and help grow this into an even bigger show. So
yeah.
In the meantime, here let's go over some news items here that we got here this week. We should have a name for this segment. What do we call? We always put it in the show notes. It says Chatter Points. So let's call it
should
Chatter.
Just be the name, Chatter Points.
Chatter Points. All right.
Chatter Points.
I'll let you read this first one, Donovan, because you brought it to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this instance of, I think this is something we can all sort of relate to. It may not be something that you've done, but it's definitely something that we all have been in danger of doing.
Definitely.
This is coming to you from Britain. Great Britain, that is. I probably shouldn't say that on St. Patrick's Day podcast.
Probably not.
Not so great Britain.
Terrible Irishman.
But woman's drunk boyfriend orders Domino's and accidentally sends over $200 worth of chicken wings to the house.
How does that happen?
I'll tell you how it happened.
Okay.
And I'll read you the text chain. They also included a picture of the woman's of the guy holding the boxes in the background, the woman's face. This is like a selfie. So anyways, we'll get to that. But basically what ended up happening was this fellow went out drinking with some chums after his wife gave birth to, I think, a beautiful boy. And
a honey boy.
Yeah, plug those two movies again. And anyways, so he decided, he got pretty hammered, as one is, I guess, licensed to do after such a great event. And he was texting with his wife and trying to get her to order him Domino's, to be waiting for him when he got home. But apparently the app wasn't working for her, which is something that's happened to me before. There are only two things in this world that will cause me to possibly murder somebody. One of them is the Domino's app not working for me.
That is terrible when you can't get it working.
So bad.
Especially you gotta call the store.
Especially when you've got other people waiting on you.
It's the only way you'll know if there are coupons too. You got to open the app.
I did it once. The app wasn't working. The coupons wouldn't go through. I asked the store if they'd just apply the coupon over the phone. The guy's like, no, I can't do that. I was like, talk to your manager. He was like, no, I can't do that. I was like, fine, whatever. I'll just order it over the phone. I ended up ordering it, and then they got it wrong.
Oh no!
It was one of the worst Domino's experiences. Anyways,
was that time I met you at our friend's place, and we were having some cigars, and it was like $30 for Domino's.
Oh no, that was see, that's the thing about Domino's is that ultimately it's like you can get good deals with Domino's, but you have to order the right things.
Yeah, it's like shopping at Kohl's or Costco.
Yes, and I always order the I think what we ordered was dude, I can't remember. I think the problem was that I ordered you like a regular pizza.
Yeah.
And I didn't apply a coupon to it. And that's why, because then I got like the pan pizza, which is like $8.99 or whatever.
It's like $2 more.
Yeah, but anyway, so this guy, he called his girlfriend, asked her to order him up some Domino's. App wasn't working.
Yeah.
We've all been there. And so he was like, whatever, I'll do it myself. Not a good idea.
No.
Not a good idea when your alcohol, maybe your blood alcohol content is double that.
Yeah.
The legal limit for ordering from Domino's. But this text chain reads as this. So it says LCW. I don't know what that means.
We could put a screenshot of this too for people that are watching.
Yeah, we'll put a screenshot up. But it says can't get through to pizza dial XXXX, which I assume is just kisses, right?
I guess.
So these Brits, they have a weird way of communicating. And the wife says, won't let me order on the app either, XXXX. And then he just texts back, okay. And then she goes, I've tried 6 times, baby, XXXX. Gosh, she really loves him. And then he says, I will true, which I assume is I will try. And then he texts after that in a separate text. He texts us, Daviokos Kobe F.
Completely unintelligible.
And then the next one is Anna Sar. So, and then she just texts back, KK, you'll be here beforehand. Where you now? So, anyways, this all ended up with, well, I guess to as one of the commenters put below, since they were in Britain, they put it as, let's see, wait, what was it? It said something to the effect of, he lost 177 pounds but gained 200. as the old exchange rate over there goes. But yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, honestly, I would have just been irritated that it was wings.
Yeah,
because I don't really
pizza.
Honestly, the pizza place's wings I'm never too wowed by.
And you know what? Wings in general are not good transported. They're good at the store. They're okay, like Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever.
Yeah,
like you can pick it up.
Buffalo Wild Wings, dude. That those will transport.
Yeah,
well.
but a lot of them don't. Like they don't deliver very well.
You have to. I mean, honestly, people. I mean, Pizza Hut got pretty cocky out there when they started up this whole Wing Street thing. Yeah, where they were like, "We're gonna make it its entirely separate thing." And I taste their wings, and I'm just like, it tastes like you're trying to drown the imperfections in buffalo sauce.
Yeah. I like Buffalo Wild Wings, though. I always think it's
Buffalo Wild Wings is really good. Wait,
I know
Buffalo
it's a
Wild
chain.
No, wait. What am I thinking of?
Wing Street?
No, Wingstop.
Wingstop, yeah.
Wingstop is Wingstop is the
That's a shoe store, isn't it?
Well, no. Wing Street is the shoe store. What? the Wing Street is the Pizza Hut faction.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that.
It's like the Vatican City inside Italy. It's its own separate entity inside. Yeah. So if Pizza Hut ever goes under, Wing Street's, they've got a decent chance. Yeah, because everybody loves it. No, but yeah, Wingstop is. I've had that the last 2 years with a buddy. Like every time we've gotten together to watch football, we'll go out and get Wingstop, and I'm like, yeah, this is good.
It is good stuff.
I don't know if that makes me basic.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure there are some people.
There's a reason why some chains are successful, and because they've replicated a model that a lot of people like. And so I'm not always going to be down on chains. Everybody has their own preferences, but if there's a successful chain, it's a proven, business model.
Well, the other thing about places like Wingstop, as opposed to Pizza Hut and Domino's, like I said, Domino's will screw you if you don't get the code right. Yeah. You're not guaranteed to get a good deal if you're just I'll eat anything on your menu. Yeah. Whereas Wingstop, a place like that, you're going to get good amount of food for your money. Yeah. At the end of the day.
Definitely. I'm about amount of food for the dollar.
Sure. Right. Oh yeah. Especially when alcohol is involved.
I know. All right. So this other news article you sent me.
So I didn't even read this one. I just saw the headline.
Well,
and
I saw this headline and thought it was an Onion article originally. I didn't think it was real, but it was pretty funny.
We're living in an age where the headlines are ripped straight from the Onion.
It's true. All right. So it says, woman discovers plant she's been watering for 2 years is actually plastic. Oh, geez.
Here's what I want to know. How old is this person?
She looks young. So there's a picture of her on social media. She could be mid-20s to 30, maybe early 30s.
See, I like I said, all I read was the headline, but immediately I was like, this is some 80, late 80-year-old, early 90-year-old woman who the last thing she has is this plant, and she's just like, I'm gonna do this one thing, but nope, this is a millennial.
I will say though, this picture of this plant is pretty convincing.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Like, is that plant over in your corner there? You can't see, but is that real?
Which one?
No, that's not real. No, the one that's hanging.
Oh, no, that's fake.
Jordan's quite the botanist, as you'll find out. No, but they've come a long way, I think, in making like good realistic plants. I keep causing earthquakes, I think, with this table.
Hey, become a patron and you won't have earthquake camera anymore.
Yeah, you can buy us some stabilizing software.
Yeah.
But no, one thing that I used to always get so irritated with was that in movies, the flowers and stuff, you could tell that they were cloth.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't you tell?
Yeah, especially older movies.
Well, like the stems and stuff, like the greenery of it, it never looked right. No. But I think now with like, I'm guessing this is probably like some sort of latex or like rubber.
It might just be plastic. I don't know. It looks pretty. We have some real house plants.
For 2 years though. I mean, I'm thinking this either has to be a scam or you have to be a special kind of stupid. I mean, like you must really not. Like it's like she's stuck in a place of caring and not caring. Like you're caring enough to water it, but you're not caring enough to find out anything more about it.
See if it's grown at all.
It's sort of like delivering food to somebody who you never really check up to see whether they're actually still alive.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this kind of plant, these kind of succulents that she's watering, you don't really like. They don't take a lot of upkeep to begin with.
Yeah.
Because we actually have one in the kitchen right now, same one, but a real one, and I feel like it hasn't really grown that much as long as and it has stayed the same. I put like an ice cube in it once a month or whatever it is.
Jordan.
Uh-oh.
I hate to break this to you.
Oh no.
I was in your kitchen earlier today.
Oh jeez.
And I'm afraid to say that succulent that you hold so dear is fake.
No.
Sorry.
I'm such a moron.
Well, nowhere to go but up from here.
I know. Jeez. All right. Well, I'll let Lacey know that I bought her a fake succulent. All right. You know what? We got to take a quick break, and then we'll come back, and we'll close out the show and tell you about this month's giveaway.
Yeah.
This part of the show is brought to you by Phoenix Shaving, makers of the most excellent aftershaves, shaving soaps, and all things traditional man. One of my favorite products of theirs are their aftershaves. Phoenix Shaving intentionally blurs the lines between traditional aftershave and classic cologne. Each batch of aftershave cologne is created by using traditional perfuming methods, giving the wearer a high dose of quality skin food matched by the staying power of berry white. Now, I tell you, this stuff is amazing. It'll make your skin feel great after a shave, and the alum and menthol just removes all irritation and razor bumps. They have classic barber scents and even more creative soap and aftershave fragrances. Like, my favorite is the Tombstone scent. It smells like leather, tobacco, and gunpowder. Pretty unique. So ditch those vials of chemicals you buy at the drugstore every month and grab some artisan soap and aftershaves from Phoenix Shaving. Go to gentlemanscofflaw.com/shave to help support the show and get some fantastic manly grooming products. Phoenix Shaving. Shaving outside the box. All right. So, this has been kind of an unconventional episode for us. It's kind of very much like our first episode. We didn't have a guest.
Yeah,
we're kind of setting expectations for, the podcast and the year to come. We basically did the same thing today, except we have no idea where Johnny Boy is. He's on the run right now.
Yeah, I think he's gone dark.
What happened was, we played that quiz about Justin Trudeau. And he said a few things bad about the Canadian government, and now the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, they're actually on his tail right now. And so every now and then he'll leave me voicemails with updates, but that's as far as I've heard from him.
I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like the only preventative measure you have to take against the Mounties is just search incognito on your computer, and that's all you need to do. I mean, they don't really. They're not going to be able to find you otherwise.
They haven't figured out Google.
Their budget is a bit limited, and let's face it, Well, actually,
if you use Proton Mail, they'll never be able to figure it out.
I shouldn't badmouth the Mounties because they have pretty cool uniforms. I've always liked those uniforms, and they can also sing. I think, right?
Do they? I don't know if they still do that.
I'm sure. I bet you there are some pretty badass Mounties.
So, like the Mounties, they started out with what you're describing, the Dudley Do-Right looking kind of guys,
right,
and the singing and all that stuff. But now they're just the Canadians' version of the FBI. That's all they are.
Oh, okay. Kind of like Scotland Yard.
Yeah,
like
that
when
kind
you
of
think
thing.
of Scotland Yard, you think of like an old Bobby, like Bobby Cop, but in reality, they're just MI5 or whatever.
And they might dress like that, kind of like dress blues, like in the military.
Sure.
They might do like events and stuff where they show up that way or whatever. Yeah. But so that's kind of the way. It's just funny that I don't know. Canada's just a funny backwards place.
But you know what? Like I always say, the one thing that always, whenever I start to disrespect America's hat, I remember those guys put a lot of blood on the sands of Normandy. So people
forget they were in before us.
Dude, they were. Wait, were they?
They were there with the Brits because they were still part of Britain technically on paper.
Yeah. Well, I guess they would have been there before us. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they were on. I think it was Gold Beach or Juneau. I always get the two mixed up. But either way, hats off, Canucks.
Hats off, Canucks. And hopefully, Johnny Boy, you're out there safe, and we'll hear back from you soon. If you want to hear Johnny Boy back on the show, write into us and, maybe leave some comments on social media.
Yeah. Maybe we'll be able to reach out to him, through Edward Snowden, because I think Edward Snowden's a little easier to find these days than Johnny Boy.
He is a little easier to find. Yeah. He's got a Twitter account now, so I think. Doesn't he have a Twitter?
Snowden?
Yeah, I think he does. Don't know. He was on Rogan recently.
He was, he was on
Rogan.
Rogan.
Was interesting.
That interview, I tried to watch it. I was like, but it wasn't like I didn't want to hear from Edward Snowden.
It just gets into the weeds.
But I almost, I did, because at the end of the day, you're sort of like, this isn't really a Joe Rogan podcast. It's more of just like, let's just let Edward Snowden talk, which was fine.
Yeah.
It's obviously very important, but I don't think I was in the mood to just hear Edward Snowden talk, which makes me a kind of a bit of a, I don't know.
A simp.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but it sounds about right.
Simpleton. All right.
Plebe.
So this month here, we're giving away another Phoenix Shaving aftershave, and I keep looking at the computer. This is something I'm gonna have to get used to, is looking at the actual camera.
Are you sure when you hold it up that it's in focus?
Let's look and see. I'm trying to. It should be on autofocus. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
It should autofocus. I'm a little close, and the lights.
They can
too
see
bright.
the map and stuff.
So it's Agartha aftershave, Phoenix Shaving aftershave, and cologne. And does it say what's on here? I should have. Usually I have it in the show notes. So it's got alcohol, so rose water, essential oils.
It's got everything.
Seaweed extract.
Everything a growing boy needs.
Everything a growing boy needs. It smells really good.
Yeah, let's see it. If I can smell it through my...
Got a classic masculine scent.
I can't smell a thing. But all I can say is...
I'll make sure to rub it down with alcohol before I send it out to you.
This label was pretty badass.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the kind of label.
It's like the type of thing you'd want like on Instagram on a wood background. Maybe with a Gentleman Scofflaw sticker, which we'll send. And you can take a picture of it. And I will say, these aftershaves are the best I've ever used.
Yeah, they're great.
Because not only do he has like amazing, like unique scents, they really do clear up your razor bumps. And like for me, like right now, I don't, I'm not shaving regularly, but the place where I get the bumps the most is my neck. And that's the place I still shave, which I haven't yet today. But,
shame on you.
Yeah. That just clears everything up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I've always loved his concoctions, and they're quite refreshing.
Yeah, and you just use it as a cologne on days you don't shave. I do that all the time.
Give you a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, exactly. So go on our our Instagram, find out how you can enter the contest on there, and we'll announce it at the beginning of next month who won this aftershave. Also, if people want to support the show, Donovan, how can they do that?
Well, you can go to our Patreon. You can throw us a few bucks on there.
Yeah.
You can leave, first and foremost, if you want to join the community and you want to contribute a little bit creatively yourself, you can check us out on social media and give us some feedback.
Yep.
And leave us an iTunes review.
Exactly.
You can find us, I believe, on Podbean. Wait. Why did I start off with the weakest?
You can find us on
Spotify, Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher.
Yeah.
Are we on SoundCloud?
I think that's the only one we're not on.
We should be on SoundCloud.
Do you use SoundCloud?
I do use SoundCloud.
If people use SoundCloud, we'll put it on SoundCloud.
I think it's a good way to get analytics.
Because the only thing is, like, you have to pay a monthly fee for it, and I already host it on our website. So I was like, well, if nobody uses SoundCloud, then I won't do it.
Let
but
us
if
know
you do, we'll do it.
Let us know if you use that SC.
The problem is it's a separate place we got to upload.
I didn't know. I didn't know
because
you were with.
Right now we upload it to our site, and it syndicates to any podcast thing people use.
Copy.
But I guess maybe we should syndicate with SoundCloud then.
The only reason I was thinking was analytics, but if nobody's really out there too hot on SoundCloud, then we don't have to do it. But
I've heard that SoundCloud is on its way under.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's always like a threat, like the MySpace threat.
It's probably what happened when I signed on to it. You know, they were just like, "Oh, this guy. I guess we're gonna, guess it's over."
That's what happens.
But yeah, you can find us on most social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And, hit us up on Patreon, but most of all, give us some feedback on the message boards and everything like that.
Yeah, and if you want to, visibly show your support for the show, you could also go to gentlemanscofflaw.com, hit the shop link, and you can get a T-shirt or a mug or a pint glass. What else? We got other stuff in there. Flip-flops.
Yeah.
We're about to be flip-flop season. Everybody needs a good pair of flip-flops for the beach.
Good pair of flip-flops. You wear them on the beach. You wear them in the you represent in the locker room to
exactly.
keep that athlete's foot or that coronavirus from sneaking up
Just
on you.
make sure if you're going to represent it in the locker room that you have a huge schlong. We don't want any small schlong guys wearing our flip-flops. We want big swinging ones walking around the locker room.
No comment. No comment. My mother listens to the podcast. Jeez.
Say hi to your mother for me. So just make sure that you're representing. Wear a towel or not.
What? Okay, let's just put it this way. Wear a towel regardless in the locker room. Because I've recently experienced this. There's certain gentlemen in the locker room who just like to, live a little bit too freely. I know it's a free country, but at the end of the day, maybe just cover up.
Cover up a little bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Regardless of what you're packing.
Or if you really want to go all out, get a Gentleman Scofflaw tattoo on your Johnson.
Why don't we just go ahead and... Why don't we just
too much Bushmills is what happened right here.
Yeah, Bushmills, right. Brought to you by the Japanese. Unbelievable. But we should one of these days we should really invest in some Gentleman Scofflaw Ranger panties.
Should.
That would, because you know what? You know what my solution to covering up in the locker room is?
What?
Ranger panties.
Ranger panties?
Yeah, because it's basically like it's the perfect thing between a towel and actually putting on like a bathing suit in the steam room. So I don't have to like worry about, fitting the towel and all that stuff. I just throw those on and
to be fair though, Ranger panties is basically like letting people see your junk.
I don't know.
Those silkies show every outline and contour.
But still We're looking for some amount of coverage.
Yeah, if we could find, it'd be cool if they made brown Ranger panties with our logo on it.
Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome. I don't know if they make brown ones, but if you make brown ones or know where we can get some made, send us a link.
I feel like that's like a Go Ruck joke. Like the guy's wearing the brown Ranger panties today. We know he had the right idea.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's another thing. People want to join us for Go Ruck. I'm not sure if you're doing this, but we're doing the July 4th Go Ruck. So that'll be one you could join us on. Be fun.
Yes.
And
I will be doing a Go Ruck at some point in the next 90 days.
And so anyway, keep following us on social media to find out when that stuff is, and hopefully we'll see you there. And Donovan, you are a gentleman and a scofflaw, my friend.
As are you.
Thank you.
Good to be back.
You guys have a great week.
This has been the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Visit us on the interwebs at gentlemanscofflaw.com.
Captain says his ice on the river. We ain't getting home if we don't break through. So damn cold, I can't help but shiver. Rise and shine, we got work to do. Hey! So damn cold, I can't help but shiver. Rise and shine, we got work to do. Love